Lovely people. It's the comic book kickback, and it's your boy Roll of Queen. And as always, I'm joined by my lovely, scrumptious, delicious, handsome as fuck, and flavorful homeboy Steph. Please reintroduce yourself to the people.
Hey, what's up? It's me. Back again. Q will be here.
Yep.
Just to let everybody know. Unfortunately, AJ was traveling. He's sadly not going to be with us, but that's okay. Because we're doing an idea, or at least an offshoot of an idea that I had for a while, that we've had for a while, and we figured, here's the thing. When I pitched this idea, we were talking about the idea of doing videos where we actively debate each other, right?
Mhm.
And the first debate that we all came up with, and it was like a no-brainer, was what is the best absolute book and what is the worst absolute book. And we're
Yeah.
still going to do that.
Yes.
But we figured we do at least a little bit of a recap,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Because we obviously have like Ro and Ben and Mark. They have Ultimate Countdown,
Hmm.
and we figured it would be a cool thing to do to have an absolute equivalent of that,
Yep.
right? At least in some sort of respect, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we're here to do, right? The debate will happen at some point, um, and I don't want to do that without AJ. So we're not gonna do the full on debate,
Hmm.
right? I don't want to do that without the full crew. Maybe we'll get somebody else. Maybe we'll get other people. Maybe we'll get JP back. Who knows,
Ooh.
right? Yeah, we get some guests in there, right?
Mm.
We were talking about when we can get JP back. Who else we can get on. Maybe they'll be there. But for now, I think it would probably be better if we save that for November, because that's when the event is going to happen. We do it
Oh
right before
yeah.
that.
Yeah. That's it's
Yeah.
actually November, right?
Yeah, it's November.
Okay, cool. 'Cause I think
Yep.
Snyder tweeted something today. He said that Batman and Superman are going to meet in November. So I guess that is the
Yeah.
event.
Yeah, they did say like the end of the year is when the event is.
Okay,
So I
sweet.
feel like that would probably be a good place to do
Yeah.
that full on debate. But tonight we're just doing a recap. Just Ro, Q, and I. We are going to talk about the books that we're reading and
Mhm.
what's going on in them, and what we fuck with and what we may not. Hello, Quentin. I'm gonna
Yeah,
let
go
I'm
ahead.
gonna let you talk because
Yeah,
I've been
go ahead.
yapping for 2 minutes now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yo, yo,
Introduce yourself.
yo, it's Q. I'm back, y'all. Yeah, it's gonna be a short pod. Even though I would say we should do like a quick 60-second recap of the week before we get started. But outside of that, man, just good to hang with you guys, man.
Word, 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 word. So yeah, man, we here to talk Absolute Universe 1 year in. So I feel like it's been longer than a year, but no, October will make it 2 years.
Yeah,
Exactly. So it's figured, man, let's just dedicate the episode to that. And if we have some time at the end, fuck it, we could talk about some other shit. But yeah, man, thank you to everybody who's tuned in. We got 4 people in the building right now. Thank you very much. Make yourselves known in the chat. And yeah, man, this is a good way. If you want to be in the separate videos, because I do chop these up. So if you want to be in those separate videos, yo, holler in the chat, and I make sure you get noticed, and we'll definitely spend some time answering your questions and or comments. But hey, man, let's not waste any more time, but let's jump in. So, like we said, we got it's been a year since the Absolute Universe started, a year and some change, and I think it was worth it to to just get back together and actually discuss how we feel about the universe, what's our favorite books, what's our not favorite books, what are our hopes for the future. We could talk about some things that happened in the past, aka DCKO, that we felt, not felt. We even had the Batman and Wonder Woman crossover that happened recently. We could talk about that too. So generally, let's just start off with like overarching thoughts about the Absolute Universe, 1.5 years in. So, Q, let's start, man. Steph, I don't know where the fuck you went, but
Yo,
yeah,
I'm
Q.
here.
Oh, Steph,
Yeah.
I don't know where the fuck Steph went, but yeah, would you get. Oh, there he is. So yeah, man, yeah, Q. So go ahead, start. Give us your let's start quick thoughts about the overall Absolute Universe.
I think the mission was accomplished. I think DC came and because Absolute came after Ultimates, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Absolute was the answer to a lot of things. Quick, everybody was asking for. I think out of all the initiatives, this has been the most digestible, most accepted, most received since I've been reading comics since Flashpoint.
Oh.
I'm reading since before Flashpoint, but since Flashpoint, this is the most across the board. Not like you have rappers talking about the Absolute Universe,
Mm-hmm.
right? The impact, like Batman is going to his 10th printing. It's 10th printing of number one.
11th.
It's
11th, even worse.
insane.
So that means
Insane.
if you got one of those first three printings, you're sitting on money.
Hold on. What my shit at?
You're sitting on
That's
money.
yeah. Damn. I know
I got the very first one.
Same.
yeah, I got the very
it,
first
and
one too.
I have a foil Virgin variant sitting in one of these boxes over there.
Whoo! Rich man,
Now,
rich man,
now I
rich
don't know if I
man,
should
Hey,
care
well,
about number one, but
hey.
it's
rich
somewhere
man.
in
Let's
there.
go.
Glass houses roll over. You can't say that shit. You cannot say that to me. Yeah. Anyway, Q, go ahead.
You go, bro.
But I mean, outside of Batman, I mean, we can all praise Batman. You know, we knew Batman was kind of gonna be a banger, but like Wonder Woman, man, like I mean, Wonder Woman is threatening the popularity of that version of Wonder Woman. You're threatening like a possible like I've seen people want this to be the main version of her now, right?
Mm.
Like not that it'll happen. Superman, as much as it's been like a slower burn, everything that Jason Aaron's is doing is paying off. Every suggestion, every villain that we were like, oh my god, where are the Superman villains at? Man, I didn't think I'd ever like Race being a Superman villain. It worked. Hawkman, we got, I was saying a few days ago, like if King Shazam isn't black, it's a miss. Because from the previews that they were showing, like all the connection to Anubis and all that stuff. Um, I think it's fun. I think the only book I didn't really connect with, honestly, was Martian Manhunter. And not
Mhm.
saying it wasn't a bad book. It wasn't a good
Careful.
book. It's not for me per se. It's something I'll probably go back to and trade.
Mm.
But collecting get
Okay.
dated month to month, and it didn't come out consistently enough for me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
That's probably the only downside with Martian Manhunter. It didn't come out consistently. So, and I just didn't resonate. That's not of all the characters. That's not the version of Martian Manhunter I was looking for in this whole initiative. But that's just my gripe. But outside of that, excited for Green Arrow coming up. Excited for Catwoman. Um, some of the suggestions that Scott keeps saying about possible new villains and new I'm talking about 100% original characters. That's what I'm kind of waiting for this universe to kind of take its legs when we start getting some like original superheroes, some original villains, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, all in all, I'm gonna stop kind of belaboring a point, but for the most part, I'm still here. Um, I like it a lot. I think they're doing a better job at managing two lines than Marvel is.
Oof.
And I'll leave it at that.
All right, Adam. I do want to acknowledge the homie Tev. Shout out to Tev. What is
What
good?
up, Ted?
Tev did have a question. I want to save that for. I want to table this. I want to let Steph go, share his thoughts, and I'll give my thoughts, and then we can answer Tev's question. I think I kind of want to save it for the end, but I think it's worth it to just get into now. So we're gonna table this one. Steph, go ahead. Give me your overall thoughts about the absolute universe. A year and a half in.
Okay. I think it is really, really, really. I mean, really, what else is there to say? It is so fucking cool.
Hmm.
It's so fucking neat. I think the thing that I like about it most is that they're all like completely, they're all like completely, well, not completely disconnected, but they are so like, where the Ultimates had like a very, very like they all have like a connective kind of theme, and they are all connected, right? Absolute is just letting all of these books kind of be themselves for now,
Mm-hmm.
in a way that was, not to say that the Ultimates was, this was like a negative for the Ultimates, but it is something that I do kind of prefer. So it obviously, this kind of approach to it does kind of speak to me a little more, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think obviously, like, I noticed there's no, Joe Mullen is not on this thumbnail, brother.
Oh, I can just keep going.
Texas.
I
You
can.
got every other book on here except Green Lantern. You did this to spite me.
Protect black women.
Yeah. Okay. Can you go? And I will add it.
Oh,
I will work on it as you're talking. God damn it. Go.
okay,
Go.
cool.
Fucking hell.
There's nothing that needs to be said about Batman. It's like the fucking rawest thing ever. I don't want to be hyperbolic and say it's the best Batman book on the shelf, but it's definitely the coolest. Um, it is 100% deserving of all the praise it gets. It is incredible. It has genius recreations of its villains, of his rogues gallery. Some of these are incredible reinterpretation. That's the other big thing, is that they're not really afraid to just top to bottom recontextualize and reinterpret
Yeah.
like everything. Like the Green Lanterns, the way that the Green Lantern and Oa and all the enlightenment and the light levels being granted to you, and the way that all of the powers work in that sort of aspect, Manhunter being completely different, just
Very
completely
different.
fucking different,
Jesus.
right? And then everybody has like a gigantic spin that is way more interesting than like what a lot of the Ultimate books were doing. And obviously, like, I'm not trying to say that those books are like bad. A majority of those books, I haven't finished, or I mean, the Ultimates I just straight up haven't read, right? But like these books, like off premise alone, are just much more engaging than anything that like Ultimate Marvel was doing.
Mm.
And they have like, I don't. It sounds insulting, but like when I think of top talent, as much as I like his Blade Run, I don't think of Brian Hill. I don't think of
That's racist, but keep going.
Okay, all right, cool. Well, you know what? Whatever. Fuck it. You want to do that to me? Fine. Whatever.
I'm just fucking with you. Go ahead, bro.
Ain't no good in him.
I like. I'm not saying that he's a bad writer. He's absolutely not. You can't look at his Blade and be like, yeah, he's not good. But like, they snagged Al Ewing.
Yeah.
They got. I mean, Snyder was supposed to be Superman, but they got Scott on Batman again. Jason Aaron, he's got a lot of clout, right? He I know Avengers fans want his head.
Which I would say that run wasn't as bad.
It wasn't that terrible, but it wasn't
end.
great. Yeah.
Moon Knight fans in particular want his head. But obviously him being on Superman, that is a neat swing. Jeff Lemire, always good. They have like all-star talent on like all of these books. And Chris Condon, listen, his Green Arrow is good, and like that Texas Blood is really good. I'm gonna completely retract this point about talent that I'm making, because I'm just remembering I'm just remembering everybody that was on.
Though. It's not talent per se, right? I think what you're trying to say is that the Ultimates feels like a course correction, right?
Yes.
The book gave us for books that we were asking for. T'Challa back on the throne. Peter and Mary, MJ being married with children, right?
They feel like apologies.
It was like, here, take this shit. Here you go.
I like that. Yeah, I feel like that's more.
Absolute was, hey, DC, we're gonna get our main line back in line, and we're gonna have one line where we can just have fun. That's not necessarily Elseworlds, so we don't gotta like, when you put Elseworlds next to somebody, we kind of look at it with a cup of tea, kind of like a grain of salt. Like,
Mhm.
like you care about DC vampires if you're reading it, but you care about the Cease if you're reading it. But like, if not, like I don't give a damn about the Midnight by Gaslight universe they're building. You know what I'm saying? I could care. I
Mhm.
mean, I do care about it. I ain't gonna lie, uh, but I think that's the differences. And I didn't touch on the Flash. It's the prettiest book of all of them. I think the
I
Flash
couldn't.
is the I think the
I
Flash is
you
the
know what?
best looking
Actually,
verse.
I'll co-sign that. He's right.
I couldn't tell you because I haven't even
Flash
touched
is worth the
Flash.
read. I need to catch like Flash and Green Lantern. I plan on catching up with because like I was kind of fucked up when I found out what the lights were. I was like,
Hmm.
oh shit, they really did think about this. So now I gotta go back and pay attention to it. Because my barber's been reading it. So like I barter. I don't know if everybody knows. It's like lore. I sell comic. I buy comic books from my barber for my haircuts. So he's been the one that's kind of heavily invested in Green Lantern and
Hmm.
Flash rather than I have. So he'll tell me about it. And like I picked up the Flash and Reverse Flash issue, just for principle. But like um the Flash, every time I look at the Flash book, it really any of the books. Anytime I
Hmm.
read an absolute book, I'm wow. Like
Yeah.
I'm leaving like what the fuck was that? Like when Bruce popped Poison Ivy, didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Right? Genuinely was like, oh, he shot
Yeah,
her. What the fuck, bro? Like, or
yeah.
when I saw, oh, go ahead.
No.
I'm
But
just saying, if anybody needed to know that, if anybody needed to hear it, spoilers.
oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah. By the way,
my bad,
we
my
Spoilers
yeah,
bad, my bad.
for all
we
of these
spoiled.
books we're gonna talk about.
I'm behind one. I'm behind severely on Superman. I'm behind severely on Green Lantern. The only two books I'm like caught up on is like Batman minus one issue and Wonder Woman. But like it's fine. And fuck it. I'll just hop in real quick. Like I'll just give my quick thoughts so we could like
Yeah,
really
go
jump
for it.
into the meat potatoes. Like
Yeah,
for me, I wasn't really with the whole alternate universe shit. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Not my bag. Like I try to stay away from it. For me, it just seems like that just seems like a dumpster fire, right? But I saw the way that this whole thing was built up, right? Because you had absolute power, which is one of my. It's for me, absolute power is a top 3 to top 5 event of mine, right? So to see this build from one of my favorite events, and then to see that the talent that they got, and to see the way that the absolute universe has dominated the conversation and has brought comics back to a spotlight I haven't seen in a while, that's why I'm invested, right?
Yeah.
Because Steph said it perfectly. No, that's my fault. Quentin said it perfectly. You got Method Man who's talking about this shit, right? You even got people outside of the normal comic book bubble that's talking about this, right? Like I
Mhm.
remember when we first got the first look of Absolute Batman, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And then we were all we were we all had our foot in our mouths. A couple months later, it was like, "Yo, this shit's some heat.
yeah,
This shit's some heat." And
I was
then
wrong about Batman. I thought Batman was gonna end up being like um death metal minus the lore baggage.
same,
That's what I thought it was gonna be. But like I'm
same,
so happy that Scott controlled himself to a degree. Right?
and
Like
and yeah, like we were all wrong about Batman, and like I was like, cool, you know what, fuck it, let me see what else is happening here. Then I hopped into Wonder Woman, and then I hopped into Superman, and then I was like, okay, that's it. But then when you tell me you got Al Ewing who's doing Green Lantern, I was like, I'd be smoking crack if I don't fucking check that out. So I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll hop on. And like those 4 books that I'm reading, I am entertained. Yes, I'm behind on Superman and Absolute Green Lantern, but still, the little bit that I've jumped into them still, and including Batman and Wonder Woman, I'm like, this is good. This feels like creatives who have a deep passion for these characters, who
mhm.
know the history of these characters and are just having fun, right? And the best part is that we've gotten constant reassurances now that like this ain't going nowhere, right? As long as people keep reading, we are going to keep getting these books, and I like that. It's fun, and there's a little bit of ties to the main line, but just seeing a whole other universe being seeing universe start from zero to what it is now, and from what we're about to get in the future. This shit is great. It's fun. Is it? Do I hate how much money I'm spending a month? Yes. But am I having fun? And do I only live one time? Yes. Yes. Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, I finally dropped Wonder Woman, Tom King, and Green Lantern, Jeremy Adams.
Hey,
It hurt
listen.
me to do it, but I was like, man, that's $10. This Iron Man book is too much, man.
Hey, listen. I mean, and again, I mean, even then we could talk about that. Like, my personally, for me, I think the main line is in a better state that it's been in years.
For sure.
Right? It's
For
better.
sure.
But what I like is that I have my main line, but I also have the absolute books too, which is good. It's just like I'm eating on both levels because normally we could touch on the Marvel stuff, to answer Tev's question, right? The ultimate books, they were just to answer for shit. You said it. It was just to answer for shit that people wanted in the main line because Marvel's main line is not the best right now, right? But DC, it's like we got the main line cool, and then you got the absolute books that are cool. That's a double whammy. No wonder why the sales numbers have been going up like crazy, right? So
True.
what I'm seeing here is awesome, right? And we talked about it also. I think this was back when Superman came out. We were worried about what would a crossover be like. Well, what would an absolute and a mainline crossover be like? And I'll be honest. Was I the most excited, or was I the most pleased with like our first little kissing of the both universes? No, but like I think for what we got, it was okay, and for what we're gonna get later down the line, I'm more excited. I think it's gonna be done properly there. But those are my thoughts on like the absolute universe as a whole. Like I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased. Very, very, very pleased.
To kind of add to what you just said, I know one of the first episodes I ever was on this podcast, we talked about the state of comics at that time, right?
Mm-hmm.
The state of comics outside of like the stuff that's always going to play comics sales and people buying comics and all that shit. The quality of comics are much better than they were since 2020, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a better place now. We got some battles we're still fighting, of course, right? Like representation still, all that kind of stuff. But like quality, our issue with back then, it was no inclusivity, and the quality was dipping,
Mm-hmm.
right? But the price was going up. I can pay $6 for Absolute Batman. You know
Mm.
why? Because sometimes I read National Batman, like, when the fuck is this shit gonna end? And it's still going. So that means I know I'm getting my money's worth, right? Or my
Mm.
attention span has gotten worse. I don't know. But I'm getting my money worth with most of these big budget books, right? Like Absolute Wonder Woman. I'm getting full off that. Even mainline Batman, for example, like it's the density of the book is there. It's a full 27 pages.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a good thing as well.
Yeah. I 100% agree because it's like well, I don't know. I guess we could kind of like shift the conversation a little bit. Like, are you guys reading this shit month to month? Because I'm not. I don't like reading this month to month. I'm not a fan.
It depends.
Batman, yes.
Okay,
Wonder Woman, yes.
Steph, you
Oh,
said it depends.
It definitely does depend. I think Green Lantern is too much of a slow burn to read month to month.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is a very understandable, at least. Deal breaker for a lot of people is that like it's way too slow for a month to month book.
Mm-hmm.
But typically, like when you read it in a binge, it's way better. It makes a lot more sense when you are able to just have the answer in front of you for a lingering question.
Okay.
Because that's the thing is that like that's the first arc was very much like everybody, including a lot of the characters, just being completely in the dark about everything about how everything about the lanterns work.
Mm-hmm.
how the powers work. But then we got to issue 6, and they just completely lore dumped it all.
Okay.
And we got like solid answers on everything. And that is, one of those things where it's very like there's not a lot of like narrative progression in the sense of like lore drops, and it's not really like things happening. It's very much like there's an entire issue in Green Lantern issue 8 dedicated to just examining the relationship between Joe and her ex-wife, and it is
Ah.
fucking incredible. But it does not, it is the entire issue. It's not just like it's not half of it. It's not like a backup story or whatever. They take the time to just let the entire book just kind of slow down and breathe like this,
Mhm.
right? And this is regularly just the pace of the book, right? So it's good, and I appreciate that it does that. But if I was reading this month to month, I would think about putting a bullet in my mouth sometimes. I'm not gonna
Mm.
lie to you,
Okay.
especially Flash. The first 7 issues of Flash. Again, I haven't read anything past like the first trade for a lot of these, but
Mhm.
Flash. Everything that happened in that first 7 issues could have happened in like 3.
Damn.
Mhm.
Like
Shit.
it's not slow but meaty like Green Lantern is. It genuinely feels like it's just being decompressed for the sake of the trade.
Oh, he writing for the
Um
Mm.
trade.
yeah,
Mm.
it feels a lot like he's writing for the trade rather than it's better rather than just being slow and meaty and feeling better in a binge, right? It feels like it's a trade book.
Mm.
And it's, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad book by any means, right? I don't think there's a single bad book in this lineup
Mhm.
except Superman. Fuck it, but we'll get into it. But you know,
Oh,
Oh,
we'll get
hey,
into it. No, we'll get into it.
we'll,
We'll
we'll
get,
get into it.
I'll
We'll
do
get
it.
into it.
we'll get
Hold
into it.
up, hold up. Now, um, but yeah, I think it does depend. I think Batman and Manhunter are enough, right? I think you know, when it comes to Manhunter, like I said, we got 2 issues left. I'm just gonna wait for this second arc, and then I'm gonna read it all at once.
Mhm.
I could read it month to month. I think that would be fine. Batman, I typically sit down and read it.
Mhm.
Um, when I was reading Superman, I did it. Wonder Woman, I didn't do it. I feel like that first arc was definitely, um, you know, trade waiting.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I mean, again, it depends. Some of these are monthly reads. Some of these are just like wait until you have all the issues.
What about you, Q? How do you digest these books?
Uh, in the beginning, the first like 6 or 7 months, I think I was reading everything month to month for the most part. The ones that I was like, Batman is always going to be a two read situation. As soon as it drops on digital, I'm going to read it, and then as soon as I get it from the shop, I'm going to read it. Right? I probably it's usually my read before I walk into the gym. Um,
Oh, sorry about.
Wonder Woman is typically a month to month read. I like to typically read both of those back to back, the Tom King one and the Absolute one, so I can contrast. Um,
Hold on. Say what you said again, because for some strange reason, my computer just bugged the fuck out because I accidentally hit a button. So yeah, say what you were saying again.
no, you're good. Batman typically is a two read situation. As soon as it
Mm-hmm.
comes digitally, I read it, and then I'll read it after I buy it. And I typically sit down in the car and read it right before I walk to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute Wonder Woman is typically a month to month thing because I like to read that. Usually those you at one point they were coming out at the same time, Tom King's and Absolute. I
Oh
was
yeah,
reading
that's right.
those like I was reading those back to back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um of late, just because I've been budgeting a little bit more, I've been like letting some books sit for a couple weeks and then going to get like a stack or whatever like that. So that typically would be Superman. Everything outside of those books are books I'll let kind of sit for a little bit and I'll go back and read. If I see somebody talking about it, see something like see something big, I'm like, oh, let me go back and read and then go catch back up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing. I think the only book that I'm just kind of like very, very far removed from is Martian Manhunter. Um,
Okay, okay.
I think that's the only one I'm really just like. If you ask me a pop quiz, but I wouldn't know shit about it.
Yeah.
I know shit about it. Past like the first two issues, I think. Like, I just that's the only book that didn't like. It's just the only one that didn't resonate with me, and I don't know if I'm not smart enough to get it, or I'm not deep enough to get it. I mean,
Hmm.
it's not that I don't get it. I get it. I get it. I just don't like it. I
Okay,
just don't
that's
like
fair.
it. I think I've been afraid to say I don't like the book because everybody likes the book, right? And it's one narratively, it's a well written book. Don't get me
Hmm.
wrong. I just don't like it. It's not my, like I think his sentiment about Superman is gonna be very similar to my sentiment about Martian Manhunter.
Okay, okay. All right, well, okay, so all right, sir. For me, yeah, like I said, none of these I read on a month to month. I think I started with Batman and then I just stopped, because again, when you're paying attention to everything that's happening on the main line, it's very hard to like juggle everything that's happening on the Batman side, then and the Wonder Woman side and the Superman side, all three which I'm subscribed to. Then on the other hand, you have absolute Batman, absolute Wonder Woman, absolute Superman, absolute Green Lantern. So it's too much. So then I realized I enjoyed these way more when I could just get them all in just a one
Yeah.
hit. Like absolute Batman, like I was a little a on it at first, but just sitting down and reading the first 6 and then 12 issues, I was just like, Scott Snyder, my brother, do you need help? Is everything okay at home? Is everything okay at home, my friend?
That's a real sick individual right there, man.
Like, bro, like what is wrong with you? Like the things that are happening in this book, right? And then Kelly Thompson, I remember I was on here, or I even told you guys in private, I was just like, I don't know about this one. For me, it just at first it seemed like this was the same issue I had with Tom Taylor's Nightwing. I was just like, it's just Wonder Woman is a goody two shoes. I was like, when is she gonna fucking struggle? Boy, was I fucking wrong, because literally after the first arc, now Kelly Thompson is putting Wonder Woman through some fucking shit. So I'm like, all right, cool. And the Superman always got had a heart. It had a soft spot for me because I sat down and I read it, and I love the new retelling of everything that happened on Krypton. I love this new take on Superman. I love like his tech. I love what they're doing with Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen. I was like, oh, this is good. So for me, because this is a brand new universe, like I can't commit to the month to month. That's just too much for me. But when I can sit down and digest everything in like one and like the little bits and pieces, I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then you get to because when you go back and sit down and read it in one, you can really pay attention about the world building, right? You kind of get to see, oh, in the beginning of Wonder Woman, she was already teasing there's a Superman out there, there's a Batman out there, there's a this, there's a that. And then you get to pay attention to it more versus like if you're just sitting down on a month to month and you're reading it and then you got to go read 20 other books right after that. So like I think this is a much better. I enjoy it so much more. I enjoy it. Like, is it hard every single month to walk on the time? Or I'm not on Twitter anymore, but like to see the timeline in shambles because of some new shit that happened. I'm like, yeah, it's tough, but like I know when I sit down and read it, I know I'm like, oh,
Surprisingly,
mm-hmm.
not to cut you off, the timeline has been pretty calm of last month or so. It's been
Actually, you know
pretty.
what? Wait, I'll piggyback. I feel like the timeline has done a pretty decent job of not spoiling shit.
Yeah, that, and then
Yeah.
I just think, I think everybody's kind of riding a feel good kind of moment right now. Like somebody was saying, like this, when we go back in the history books, we're gonna talk about absolute universe, like we talk about image, the image boom,
Hmm.
right?
Oh,
This might single handedly save quote unquote DC. If absolute can do numbers and spring toys and shirts and merch and maybe some movie ideals, some animated movies. I can see DC getting to a point where they don't need Warner Brothers at some point, and maybe going to a more stable situation. And I know that's a long lasting partnership for like decades, but I mean, Warner Brothers been sold what 3-4 times by now. Last five
Mm,
years, it might be time to pivot to like a Netflix or something like that, so you can have full domain of shit going on in your studio again. But
yeah, don't because it's. I mean, all of this, if you want to say, like in a sense, it's kind of original IP because everybody here has free reign to do whatever the fuck they want, and it's working. Like it's working very well.
and it's an
And
absolute. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
no, yeah, but yeah, it's working. It's working very well, and I think that's to the credit of damn near all the creatives, right? Like Scott
Hmm.
Snyder coming back to do Batman again after he had a swan song on not only his new 52 run, he did metal and death metal, which is damn near all Batman shit, right? And then for him to come back and do it again,
It
oh,
was
awesome,
ballsy.
ballsy, and it's working. And again, please check yourself, get yourself checked. Um,
I mean, we
you know,
got to thank Tiny in for it too.
Yeah,
wait, because they I
because
feel,
he wanted James to write it at first.
oh really?
Yeah,
I
he
didn't know
wanted.
that.
Yeah, he wanted James to write it, and then Scott was going to do Superman, and then Tynion was
Oh,
like, "No, you should go do Batman again."
oh, I can go hold you. I kind of because I didn't like the way Tynan's Batman ended up. I kind of wish he would have taken. I kind of wish he would have taken it, but hey, but what we got is what we got. And listen, Scott
Yeah,
is doing amazing work. He's wonderful, and like Kelly Thompson on Wonder Woman. I feel like but don't get it twisted. Kelly Thompson's name was solidified in these streets, but I feel
She was
like
just coming off a great Black Widow run too.
that's right. The one that got unexpectedly canceled.
And she
Uh,
did want an Eisner, so fuck it.
yeah, so she had that, and then it was Birds of Prey, which was really good. But like I feel like this alone like put her like right back up there with the big dogs, and then Jason Aaron. I feel like this is a comeback for him because like what he, I know Avengers like I wasn't the
yeah.
biggest fan, minus a couple arcs, but people were soured on him, right? But then
What he did with Thor gonna carry him for a long
oh,
time,
my fault. Yeah, that
regardless.
Yeah.
Thor
Yeah.
too. But Avengers was after Thor, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, we
Yeah,
just, when I think negative thoughts about Jason Aaron, I just think about War of the Realms, and I smile again.
bro.
You know,
Yeah,
War of the Realms was
that is
fucking
a thing
good.
where it's just like, you're always going to be kind of like defined by your best work.
Mm-hmm.
And when you make something that good, you just kind of have free reign to do bullshit for the rest of your life.
Valid,
you can go
valid.
do Scrooge McDuck books and pick up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and make them suffer for 12 horrible issues. But
Hey
that's
man.
another man that get checked out. Cause what he did to the turtles for the first four is god damn,
Oh
bro.
really? Is that
I don't
is
know.
that crazy?
Yeah.
Hey, hey man, Donnie's talking. Who's talking to the dead rat? That's Donnie. Donnie talking to a dead rat. Leonardo's malnourished. No. He was eating turtles. I don't know. It was fucked up, bro. It was so depressing. I was like, you know what? I'm just wait till some good shit happens. Um, but nah.
Nah, but
Go ahead.
yeah, like Jason Aaron, this is a good comeback for him as well. And like, yo, even despite my issues, with Camp on the Ultimates, hey, the fact that they're even able to pull Denise Camp and like
Yeah.
to see the hit that Martian Manhunter has become, and the fact that people are really sad that like this book is ending, that's awesome, right? Then you have Lemire, who's very well regarded, and then you even have Al Ewing, who a lot of people enjoy when he writes black characters, and to see that he's writing Joe Mullen, I was like, oh, this is dope. So I think like this launch alone,
Yeah.
like this is gonna keep DC sustained for a hot minute, hot
If they're
hot
smart,
hot minute.
if they're smart.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I'm just
I,
saying. Sometimes we overthink shit, and I think. Well, we gotta save it because we can't talk about it unless we get some time. But like, I think Marvel overthought the ultimate shit per usual, and I think that's because of MCU and everything's going on with them. They really overthought it. That's why my new
Mm,
theory that I sent to the group chat, I think that's more realistic.
yeah, I think the I think if we're, I mean, fuck it, we're here anyways, right? But like, I feel like the situation with ultimates and absolute, like for me, I feel like it's a little unfair because of how delicate both situations are to compare, right? Because it's like ultimates, what we got for ultimates was not what we were supposed to get, right? You know, Kate's was supposed to be on ultimates, and then that fell apart, you know, because of, you know, things that happened with him, and then we all know Hickman is not staying anywhere to save his life, right? So I feel like at some point, I'll no, fuck, I'll even say, I don't think the ultimates was meant. It wasn't meant to be. That's what it wasn't meant to be. There you go. I'll say it.
Whoa,
I don't
I
think it
just
was
had
meant
a
to be.
I just had a
Whoa.
crazy
Oh, wait,
thought.
hold on.
No, I don't. I don't think ultimate. I don't think the new iteration of the Ultimate Universe. I don't think it was meant to be. I don't think so.
Say what you about to say, Steph, because I think I got like a That's So Raven. Like, whoa,
No,
go
I
ahead.
just said like that. I was just saying like that, saying it's like just not meant to be at all is a bold ass claim.
Yeah,
I
I
wasn't
don't.
trying to like say anything
Well,
else.
you know
You
what I was thinking?
hold, let me elaborate on why I think it
Okay,
wasn't meant to be, right? Because look at how the dominoes fell. Look at like that is a clear case of whether it's God or whatever you believe in or just the universe just saying no, no. Look at how that fell. It's no. I don't want to say it reminds me of 5G because we're not touching that, but like it kind of reminds me of 5G. It kind of reminds me of that.
But we're not touching that.
Yeah, I know, but like the way everything just happened is just like no, no.
do
Versus,
you think
hmm,
that so if or so what you just said, and we've talked about it before that technically the spear runner, the spearhead for Ultimates was Danny with Donnie at first, right?
yes.
Before Hickman, right? And I just had this crazy thought. Does the absolute universe kind of feel like some shit Donnie would kind of make?
Mm,
No, 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 no. I
oh,
now,
wait,
now
no, wait.
feel
You know
I
what?
mean,
I, yes,
now
actually.
feel me. Now go down a rabbit hole. Get in the car and drive with me for a second, right? All right. Now I'm not saying my sensei would do some shit like this, but it is the nature of the business, right? And they're all friends, right? So I'm pretty sure because at that time Scott was doing his Substacks work and his creator own stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people talk, people rub shoulders, people like because like I knew about the Ultimate Universe because Rob Liefeld on his podcast talked about it. And he
Mm-hmm.
talked about DC doing one. That was like 19,
Mm-hmm.
18. That was very, it was like pandemic when he brought that shit up,
Mm-hmm.
right? But everybody thought Rob Liefeld being crazy again. But what if, like, just in talking, Scott got wind of what Donnie was, cooking up. And my man, accidentally had to take a little hiatus. Cause doesn't like the universe, like the ultimate universe, kind of feel like some shit DC would normally give us?
I don't know because I'm not.
uh,
I can't say because during my time in comic books, I that never crossed my head. The only alternate universe stuff that I knew of at the time, and people weren't really talking about it much, was the Earth One stuff.
Well, when I say like some shit DC would give, I'm talking about like the way the stories are. Like here, the correction stories, if that makes sense. Right? We're gonna give you something that you've been asking for. Here you go. Right? Or maybe I'm just reading into it too much. But
I don't think so
I don't know. Cause I
because
was like,
I.
cause like 'cause Donnie has a dark, rough, kind of like a dark edge, metal kind of edge to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And nothing about Ultimates feels like that. Nothing. Because technically speaking, I would think if he was already building this up, right, and if for whatever reason he had to pass it off, he had to pass the buck off, right?
Mm-hmm.
His skeleton would still be there. right? His skeleton would still be on the project in some facet, unless they just pivoted 100%. And
I
even
see what
then,
you're saying.
that would have put him back at least 6 7 months to a year
Mm,
creatively, right? Just to rebuild, restructure everything. Now I flip back to DC. Typically, DC the bright and colorful, blah blah blah. Outside the Zack Snyder shit, right? DC is
mm-hmm,
known for being bright and colorful and hopeful. Marvel is the opposite,
mm-hmm.
right? And not that they're all dark and gritty, but they've been more of the realistic side, if that makes sense, right? This feels like something that, and I'm not saying, and Scott and Donnie are definitely cut from the same cloth. They're from the same class of writer, the same genre of, they like the same genre of shit, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
not too out the possibility that like Scott, there's 100% came up with this. But you look at the different titles, like look at Wonder Woman. That seems like some shit Donnie talked to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like that's some shit I would think
I see
Donnie,
what you're saying.
you know
It,
what
it
I
has a
mean?
it has a Donny Cates feel to it.
That shit feels like King and Black DC universe, if that
I
makes
f-
sense.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
Compared
And
to the Ultimate Universe, where that was the one that he was supposed to be the Scott Snyder of,
mm-hmm.
that doesn't feel nothing like a Donnie Cates like book. None of them.
Okay, I see what you mean. I see what you're saying. I see what you're
You know what I'm
saying.
saying? Like maybe somebody was inspired by somebody else's ideal. That is kind of what I'm saying.
I would, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It happens. So I won't even dismiss that. It happens, and like, because what I think Scott said they were in the talks about the Ultimate Universe since like way back at the end of what is it Death Metal? I think
Hmm.
so. And and again, I think wasn't one of the rumblings that like you know Cates was probably involved in those conversations or some shit like that. I don't remember, but like yeah, I
This is just speculating. We're not saying that anybody stole
yeah.
anybody's ideal. Or I'm just talking shit. I'm drinking wine. Or
No, it's a good theory. It's a good theory. But like
what?
you,
It just seems like I don't know. It just seems like the absolute universe has a certain gravitas now, right? Like it's
yeah,
known for a certain vibe, and like you know, I think that if anybody, I hope when he comes back, he does something with absolute.
and even to even touch on that because I said I think things fell in line the way that they fell in line. Okay, let's. I'll take it to another extreme. But hey, we don't get this if Dan Didio is here, guys. We don't get
Or
this.
Jeff, or
Or
Jeff.
Jeff. We don't get this because like you think Scott Snyder was gonna step back in DC if Dan Didio didn't get fired or let go? No way. Do you think the things that happened in Absolute Batman, the ones where I'm concerned for Scott Snyder's mental health, do you think that would happen if Dan Didio was at the helm? No way. So like that's why I said I think this was all the way
A
it played out
perfect
with
storm.
Marvel and the way it fell out with like DC. It was meant to happen for one and not for another. And I think, to both of their credits, like, yes, the Ultimate Universe fell how it fell, but the Ultimate Universe also at one point it was feeding the streets. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that it wasn't. We were fed very well, right? We were fed very well, but now Absolute is this is what's gonna remain, and it it is what it is.
And look, I'm glad you said it like that because that farther leads to Marvel deeds a boom, a big eye popping. Hey, look at me. I'm doing this. We're all in. No pun intended, right? And that's why I feel like that's happening. That's
Hey,
why I
and
think that's happening. Because you don't got nothing cooking over there that can really combat mainline. You can't even compete with mainline DC right now, if we're just being honest.
no, there's nothing there.
It's like maybe 3 books. I don't even know. Is Moon Knight still good?
Yes.
Okay, so Moon Knight. I mean,
Yeah,
Storm was good.
What was you gonna say, Steph?
I was just gonna say like it's Moon Knight, Thor, Hulk, and Iron Man. Like
Those are
that's
the big
really it.
dogs right now.
Those
Yeah.
those
So
those
there
are
you
the
go.
big dogs, I guess. Captain America.
Cap's cool. Cool. Cap's cool too.
Yeah,
Cap's cool.
Cap
Cap's
is
neat.
good.
And I caught up with Weapons of X. Weapons of Wolverine. That is it's gas. It's cool. I like it. I like it. And then it
Yeah.
because it's
All right.
important, I guess. Like, I like it.
Yeah, but yeah, there's no big like there's no big books over there that can compete with what they're doing, or at least what DC is doing on the main line in Absolute. But I do want to get to some of these
Yeah, I was about
questions.
to say.
Tev asked, why did Marvel give up on Ultimate Marvel Universe? Because Absolute had succeeded. I don't think that's the case. I think there's just too much behind the scenes with the Ultimate Universe. I think that's my understanding of it. But if Steph, I don't know, what do you think?
I mean, we always got to go back to they told us that it had a finite lifespan, like out the gate.
Okay,
It
that
did.
too. Yeah.
Right.
did.
They opened up the entire line with we got a year and a half till the maker comes back and all the shit is gone. Right. And obviously, like, Hickman has been very open about the fact that like he expected these books to keep going on. And then editorial was like, now let's stick with the idea of that they just end. And I think it goes back to what we were saying, where it's like on a creative level, I do kind of respect that they were, they have the balls to let this end, and whatever comes with that. But also, I think like from a financial perspective, especially when Absolute is kind of tearing the entire industry a new asshole, you probably should have just left this alive.
Yep.
It's just an odd decision from a corporate point of view. And listen, I'm not going to see any of that money. It doesn't matter what they do. Right. So looking at shit from a corporate mindset, I don't really have to do that, but it's just peculiar, really. That they saw this incredibly successful thing and then just decided to not keep making money with it. Yeah. And it's just how it is. But I don't know. Maybe they'll bring it back. I don't know. I feel like it probably can't be soon.
No way.
I don't think so. I think it would probably be in their best interest, or at least I assume they think that it would be in their best interest to wait until the absolutes kind of fall off. And then when people are kind of tired of these, then they come back with some other attempt at like an Ultimate Universe, or maybe they just call it the Ultimate again. I really don't know. Relaunch them. I really don't know. It was just like they thought they thought they could get some clout by having artistic integrity and letting these books end when they were supposed to, and in turn it was the stupidest fucking decision from a corporate perspective that they could have possibly made, especially at the time. And now they're kind of stuck not being able to really do anything without it kind of looking desperate. Like they couldn't really bring it back right now because it would be so transparent that like they're just bringing it back because they know they're fucked and they need like an absolute competitor.
I saw what you did there.
Oh yeah.
I was waiting for you to catch on.
See, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's just something. It's just something they got to deal with, and I don't really know how they're going to deal with it, but they know they have to. I think everybody knows they have to. Maybe just bite the bullet, bring it back. I don't really know. Maybe Reborn is just an excuse to bring the whole thing back. I don't really know. Okay. And that's why it's a separate thing and not part of Armageddon. But we're not talking about Armageddon right now. We'll deal with that when it happens.
Q, what are your answers to this question?
I mean, Well, one thing, I don't think you can bring this back ever again. You can't do this again. Like
Oh,
you can't. You did it once and you ended it prematurely because you wanted Miles in the mainline universe. You did some bullshit caveat with Civil War because we all know that's what Secret Wars is about, right? To get Miles
mm-hmm.
over here. That's what
Yep.
it boils down to. I think you got some good ideals with the Hawkeye, and you see the need for T'Challa back on the throne. Um, once again, like Steph said, bro, it's the stupidest business decision you could possibly make for a company that's all about the business side of things. It's crazy that they didn't foresee this, right? And then on top of that, I think Marvel at this point just farms for movies. They don't.
Mm,
They're not. They're not comic first. If that makes sense. Marvel
No,
Studios is movie first,
yeah.
right? So the books I think are only in service of the movies. So what they're plotting. So I don't is Reborn separate from Armageddon? Is that confirmed?
Yeah,
I
it's a whole
mean,
stuff. The threads from Reborn will be in Armageddon, but both things are happening simultaneously. Like Armageddon is here, Reborn is here, so but they're happening at the same time.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, Q does bring up a very good point where it's like that is kind of a big problem with Marvel is that they really are just kind of like they don't see comics as like art.
Mm,
They don't it's all they see, because here's the thing, if they saw Marvel as art, if Marvel saw comic books as like art and something worth its own salt beyond the money it could make, and being illustrated wiki pages that eventually get turned into movies, if they genuinely thought it was art, they would have had a Vertigo.
Hmm.
They've never had
ah,
a Vertigo.
Well, they had Max. They had the
Well, I mean, they
Max
had
line.
Max, but that was still the other characters, but just like out of continuity stuff. I'm talking about like Vertigo, where it's just like
Oh,
you could just
creator
make
own
shit.
kind of.
That is like their separate wing where you can just do independent stuff, right?
I think they're
They don't
trying. I
have
think they're
that.
trying to. I think they're starting to because like the success of all like the IP books with like Alien and Predator, those books sell a lot if I'm not mistaken. Um,
Yeah, but those are still IP, right? Like
true,
those are
true,
still like
true.
notable IPs. They're just not like stuff from Marvel. Like they're not about like Marvel characters specifically. I'm talking about like there's no
It's just
line where
fresh
you
takes,
could
like
it's
there's
just
no line
you
there's
mean
no
like
line
a
where you
line
could
from
go
the cook?
make
or
yeah, there's no
what's that
line where
zombie
you could
book?
just come up with your own shit. There's no Last House by the Sea. There's no
Yes.
Marvel
That's the
imprint where
book.
you
Yeah,
could make Last House by the Sea or Bleeding Hearts or
something
Black
under the
Tower.
trees. Yeah.
You or beneath the trees where nobody sees,
Hmm.
something is killing the children. Like you can't do any of that. There's no
But I think
label over at Marvel where you could
that's
do
the
that.
restraint of being tied to Disney though, because you still like Disney can we'll let you say fuck and shit and damn every now and then, and yeah we'll put some alien movies out, but it's still hey this about the mouse. It's still the hey if they could put the mouse on the Avengers they would,
Yeah.
so I think that's the one. I guess that's the double edge of the sword right there, right? Like you get the big budget from the backing of Disney, but you also got to play within Disney's rules. So we're only gonna bend that shit so far. And
And
I mean,
and
yeah, but like they've never had one. That's the thing, is that like Disney probably wouldn't let them have a Vertigo. Don't get me wrong. Like
yeah.
I don't think like Disney would probably maximize like IP, right? That's why they let them make Predator and Alien books and whatever. But like even before that, right, when they were like a Paramount,
There's still
and
nothing there.
comics were there's still nothing
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
Like they've never done a Vertigo. The closest thing they have is Max, and even then, Max is like wishy washy. Where some of these books are in canon, and some of them are just not. Right?
yeah.
Right? There's no Black Tower. Right? There's no outlet to there's no sub line where it's just you're acting as like an independent publisher. basically, to like, you know,
Yeah, there's
you
no
have that
alternative
kind of
to the
market.
alternative.
But
I
that might
think
be because
Yes.
they remember for a while. No, Marvel was. We forget. Marvel was the stepchild for a long time, right? It was DC, Image, and Marvel for a long time, or Image, DC, Marvel. Marvel got his luster back like after Civil War, maybe going
Mhm.
into the movies. Like that's when they started Dark Reign. That's the time when Marvel really started picking back up some steam. But for the most part, the '90s, because of their bankruptcy, and I mean, Blade kept them afloat for a long time, and some of the X-Men movies and Spider-Man kept them afloat. But like
Mhm.
comic wise, I don't remember anything notable from the 2000s. I mean, Grant Morrison on X-Men, I guess. I mean, and granted, I wasn't reading back then. I just go by what I know from what I read on wiki pages and information I've gathered over the years. It wasn't what was worthwhile. Most of those Spider-Man stories in late 2000, early 2000s were trash. Brand New Day, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, uh, in
Yeah.
hindsight, it was big now because we built. That's what I'm saying. Like, it goes back to the conversation we had another pod where we're talking about some of these
Mhm.
mistakes. We're talking about Heroes in Crisis. Some of these quote unquote bad books are only bad books in the moment, and then once time progresses and stories come out of it, and we go back and retcon shit or fix things, those books become more pivotal. They become more groundbreaking, low key,
Yeah,
right?
but
Like,
and like and I feel like to take it back to that conversation too. Like I guess the difference here is just like you there's no real course correction you could do, in regards to like, the ultimate universe, right? There's no like, yeah, reborn is not it as much as they want to make it see. There's no course correction. You can't prematurely or okay, prematurely end a whole universe that was making you money, and then you try to bank on the clout of, oh, we did it for creative reasons when we know it's a little bit more. You can't pivot that. There's no way you can pivot from that. There's no way. I can't see it, at least. And like, even what Emmanuel said is like the Ultimate Universe really just needed a big creative shakeup and relaunch so that they could complete with the Absolute Universe. I mean, they got to do it, but like they did it already. And I feel like, even if they were to do this, how many years had it been since the last Ultimate Universe? But like before this one, what did the last one end? Was it like 2016 or some shit? 20.
Yeah, 20 like
yeah,
15. It was only like
whenever,
9 years.
yeah, whenever Secret Wars started or the incursions.
So there, for them to try to do that again after a good couple years after the shitstorm you done had, after the shitstorm you're having now, I don't think so. Which is why, you know, I I and a lot of other people are gravitating to Absolute, because then there's more stability there. There's stability here. You have a front man, which is Scott Snyder, saying, "Hey, we're here for the long haul. We're
He's
here."
active. You see him. He's
He's
putting himself. He's putting himself on the line of fire every
mm-hmm,
day.
every
Low
day.
key, he tell us too fucking much. Low key, Scott, go away. I love you,
Li-
but go away.
Yeah, yeah, that's one of my complaints. But yeah, like, he's Scott is in front of us. He's on the podcast. He's on this. He's on that. He's letting us know, like, yo, we here. Like, yo, I'm here for the long haul. Josh here for the long haul. This person here for the long haul. We doing this. We doing this. We doing this. We doing this. We doing that. Right. Which is why I think th- this thing is gonna have legs. Like, I think the Absolute Universe is probably gonna be here for, I want to say, another, like, you know 2, 3, maybe 4 years. Who knows? Because it's like, individually, all of these characters, right? There's enough lore to pull from and remix.
Mhm.
So much to pull from and remix, right?
They're not even remixing. They just flat out changing shit. Low key, they
That
keeping the
too.
core. They just flat
That
out changing
too.
shit.
Yep.
But I not to cut you out, bro. But like another thing about Ultimates is for a long time, it kind of felt like the mainline editors were jealous of the ultimate success. 'Cause remember, like the first few months, it was like, oh my god, this is what we've been asking for Spider Man. Oh my god, why who the fuck is Paul? And we are smoking on that Paul pack too.
Mm.
Anywho, um, uh, But same thing for Black Panther, right? It was things that people were
Petty,
asking for
petty,
to see, right?
petty.
Um, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Mm, but I think for a long time it felt like because some of the comments like Tom would give
Mm-hmm.
felt like they were kind of like passive aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I just think though I don't know. I think for a long time it always felt like at least the Spider-Man editorial team or
Mm-hmm.
area of things felt jealous of the Ultimate. That's why I think they had to wrap it up like, hey, y'all take a sign from us, and we're the ones that matter, right? Like I want y'all to be good and successful, just not more than that, not more than
But
me, type of
but
thing.
here's the part that boggles my mind. And again, I know, I know it sounds like we're dick riding, absolute, but like yeah, like okay, you have a perfect blueprint on how to do it right, right? Because look
Hmm.
here, right? Okay, for all the shit we done gave Chip on Batman, right? Cool. You know what DC did? All right, cool. You put Matt Fraction on Batman. Cool. I think it's well assumed now that Tom King is wrapping up, right? Cool. But you have Joshua Williamson on Superman. You have what's his name? Mark Wade. Well, excuse me, Ryan North on The Flash. You have, Adams on Green Lantern. It's like what it's not that hard to make sure your mainline stuff has good creative teams also alongside your ultimate. You can walk and chew bubblegum. What's that? I kept hearing that term, recently. Like you could walk and chew bubblegum, right? You there is a scenario where the mainline stuff at Marvel, they're doing good. And then the ultimate stuff is doing good, just like what they're doing over here with DC. It's I don't know. Am I tripping? Is that not crazy to do?
And you know what? Time out. You know what? And just to say they were not just dick riding fucking absolute, we can look at the Energon universe and look what they're doing. And they're doing the exact same thing. They're taking
Yeah.
bold swings, right? They're really they I'll say I'll just step on a ledge and say they took it a step farther than absolute. They actually made an original IP in Void Rivals that
Mm,
that was going to integrate and use that as a pivoting point, which took
mm,
balls, but it put a great writer on there to kind of drive it home. Robert Kirkman, right? He's invested. This is his baby. He's going to ride it home, and he's going to start slowly integrating the Transformers in there and different people from Transformers and stuff like that. And 2 years into it, we finally got a GI Joe team with a Transformer on there, and things are paying off. Right, I will tell everybody read GI Joe. It's really good. I'm about to catch up with my own. I kind of
see?
passed the last arc, but it's good.
Oh, bro, my fault. Let me take it a step further. Let me take it a step
We got
further.
another book. We got another Energon book. Not to cut you off, Ro, but we have another Energon book coming. We got a mask book.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
like they got
We got Dan Waters on a mask book.
Wait, you mean like what the fuck you mean the mask? You mean like Jim Carrey the mask?
no, 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 no,
No.
no. It's an old school '80s cartoon called The Mask. M period A period S period K.
Oh, okay, okay. All right.
Hey, Steph, if that I want, you know what I want them to do so badly, they have to put a realistic My Little Pony situation in here. And I say that because they already crossed over the Transformers before. And
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. My daughter just started watching My Little Ponies, and I was like, bruh, if you give us they give them like a teenage young, like a Teen Titan type of like Little Pony book to go inside all of that, it'll pop that shit off, bro.
Hold on. We
Mm-mm.
got we got a comment here. It says, "Let's face it, DC in general has better writers than Marvel. The writing is where Marvel is failing." I think I think
Mm,
I think it's a I think
editorial.
there's nuance. It's
I,
editorial because I think
there's
the some of it is writing, but a lot of it is like editorial, right? Because it's like we we don't get to where we are with both universes without editorial at the helm, and obviously good editors, right? Because it's like editorial is the reason why we have a main line and an absolute that's thriving. Editorial is why you had a thriving alternate universe, but your main line is suffering over at Marvel. right? Like, and we could talk, writers, that's subjective, but like I think editorials is mostly like where a lot of this blame falls, right?
I do agree. I do think like editorial needs to take a lot more blame, but I think where editorial does need to take blame is really just the fact that like when it comes to Marvel, I think when it comes to like putting up like the writers and whatever, I feel like there's a little too much cross pollination to say Marvel has better writers than DC because they both
Mm-hmm.
too much of their rosters are just people who work for the other company,
Mm,
right? Right? Like saying Marvel's writers are worse when so many of them also work for DC is a little odd, but like editorial is the real big problem. And I think a really big problem is that when it comes to Marvel, they've never rebooted. They have one singular continuity. It is
Mm-hmm.
just inherently more difficult, depending on the character you're working on, to write something that is like not formulaic and isn't something somebody has seen before.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the capability to even be original is
It's
just more difficult for a character that has a book on the shelf every month for 80 years straight.
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
add on the fact that you got MCU restrictions as well. It's tough.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then like for example, Black Widow is over 80 years old and she's a clone of herself. Like that is where we're at with that character. Like some of these characters have reached their apex, and that's okay. That's
Mm-hmm.
okay. Like comics are supposed to be the illusion of growth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the thing you're seeing in DC is that editorial changed, and you're
Yes.
seeing the fruits of that. You got a different voice. Jim Lee got a bigger role,
Mm-hmm.
right? We got some of the old guard out. We got some of the people that had beefs with some of the people that were in power get their freedom papers. Mark Wade, welcome back, right? Like, like there's like Scott Snyder, welcome back, right? Like people that were didn't want to work for
Greg Rucka,
DC
welcome
anymore.
back.
Greg Rucka, welcome
Yeah.
back, right? And then Marvel, you got Tom Bredoff saying stupid shit about Spider-Man, and Spider-Man never supposed to be happy. Either A, you push this shit to an MC2 type of thing, and you bring that shit back, you tease Mayday a few months back with Mephisto and all this shit. You either put the MC2 into play, or that's why I mean, fuck it, we're here now. I that's why I'm saying I don't think it's a reboot. I think they're so hard up to be anti DC that they're not gonna reboot this like they should, and they're just gonna
Yeah.
push this shit farther, and it's gonna be
And
shit like like Tony Stark. I would like it looked like Tony died, right? I can see Riri now being the Iron Man. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like without a shadow of a doubt. Like he's off the board. It's gonna be the the shit they did with Sam and Jane taking over his store, but they're actually gonna have balls and see it through.
you know what? You bring up a good point about the MCU because I think this is a good way to tie it all into the absolute and ultimate stuff, right? Probably one of the best blessings we've had, and I promise we're not gonna, just stay here, was the death of the Snyderverse. Was the death. Because then now DC is kind of free. Not to say that the comics were, closely tied, but
It
like they
was
don't.
because the Rock,
Oh, oh shit, that's right. My bad.
the
But like
Rock, the Black Adam was a superhero for the longest like 2 years.
that's right. The death of the Snyderverse made it so that DC they don't really gotta play by movie rules anymore. Because like now you have James Gunn who's like slowly retooling things, but then that gives people like a Scott Snyder or whoever else that's come back into the fold, you know, to come and like really have some free reign and do their thing. So now by the time when you do have a Superman movie that comes out, okay, you do a little summer Superman. You do a little absolute Superman here and there. But like they they have a ground zero versus the MCU, which is again, whether it's their main line or their, you know, absolute line, excuse me, or ultimate line, they still have to play close fiddle to the MCU because the MCU is still going, right? They're still going. They
Yeah.
like everything here, no matter what, you need to keep it closely integrated. So I think that's why it's one of the reasons why DC has been able, to kind of get the leg up because you
But
don't
your
have.
showrunner, but I'm not to cut you off. I'm just add
Mhm.
this to it. Your showrunner at DC is a comic first guy.
Ah.
Kevin Feige refuses to play ball or let the creators on the comic side kind of help lead him a little bit, right? Because there's no reason Age of Ultron should have been the second Avenger movie. I'm fucking sorry, right? It's just something Kevin Feige is the Drake of comic books. He's a culture vulture. He's gonna yank whatever's hot at deep Marvel and speed run it to a movie.
Mhm.
And look at Devil Rain. Look at the version of Devil Rain we're getting on. And I know it's been great. Don't get me wrong, but look at the version of it we're getting. Like
Mhm.
I
Yeah, it's
DC has freedom now.
yeah, and as long as they have that freedom, like we're going to continue to see these things thrive, right? Like, and I mean, look at this. Like, yo, we started off with absolute Batman, absolute Wonder Woman, absolute Superman. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. Like the fact that we're getting an absolute Green Arrow and an absolute Catwoman, it's it kind of blows my mind, right? Because again, like I said before, that freedom is allowing for us to be creative and just blow this shit out the water, man. Right? And fuck it. I don't want Marvel to like I don't like the idea or the notion that like Marvel is jealous of their ultimate universe, jealous of the ultimate universe doing better than mainline. If anything, do what DC did. They saw what y'all were doing, and then they started to cook. So like, if anything, start taking from the competition, right? If you see that the mainline DC is doing well, start investing more in your mainline. Once you guys have that proper leg up, like DC did, because remember, DC didn't just come out the gate with absolute. DC had to work its way up from 2021 to 2025 before.
Since Infinite Frontier, DC has been on the upward trajectory since then. 'Cause
Boom.
the quality of book has been better. There's books that I think about from Infinite Frontier to this day. Like people talk shit about Wonder Woman, but that time when she was in Asgard was gold. Like I saw Thor in the DC book. Like it was great. You know what I'm saying? Like there's books I think I think back to that Suicide Squad books, right? With
Mhm,
Earth 3 with Superboy. And we got to see like the Renegades from
mhm,
the different universe, the Avengers for the DC universe, right? Like there was some good stuff during that time, right? And then you go into the absolute power, and we start seeing Amanda Waller's grip for power over the
mhm.
next 2 years, right? And then you saw the payoff of that.
Boom.
I mean, and then that payoff is still trickling down. Like people power shifts have not completely returned yet.
Yeah. And like
Ti-
again, they need if Marvel was to ever do something like this again, like an Ultimate Universe or whatever. At this point, don't even call it Ultimate Universe because I think people have PTSD. But like, you know, you need a leg up. You need to do the groundwork again. That's the only way you can. That's the only way they can start to really compete again with DC. You need
Bring
you need a
Max
leg
back.
up, man. Listen, at this point, don't give people the names that they were used to. Don't give it to them. Like if you're gonna do like Ultimate Universe, like a alternate line to compete, it has to be brand new, like completely ground zero. It has to be a whole nother term. It has to be something
No,
different.
yeah, because like this is a this is a good thing to bring up because Tevye he did just ask, do you think Marvel can make their just own version of absolute DC? I think that has to be the blueprint. They can't just do the Ultimate Universe again. They have to
No.
specifically look at absolute.
What
They
Mm-hmm.
would you
have
rather
to
have? A
they
reset
have to
or my bad go.
I'm just saying, like, they have to do a universe where they specifically take something away rather than
Mm-hmm.
doing something that, like, rather than doing something like the fans like want to see, like, Black Panther, T'Challa just like being the Black Panther and being the king, and Spider-Man having a wife and kids with MJ. It has to be like, oh, we got to look at them and take shit away from them.
Yeah.
right? Like aspects of who they are as people. We gotta take like fun Marvel
Yeah.
minus
Oh,
Spider-Man.
Marvel Mindus. I like it.
Ooh,
I like it.
Minus
that's kind of cool.
minus Moon Knight. Yeah, no, that's what it is. That's we just did it.
Minus one. Oh, I like
Ooh,
We just
that.
did it.
that's kind of
Give me the
good.
fucking give me the
Yo,
fucking
put him in the
job.
rooms. Put him in the rooms.
Oh,
Put him in
minus
the rooms.
Marvel
Yeah.
minus. Okay,
Marvel
Yeah,
Mindus. Okay.
yeah.
but okay. So to add to that, what would you rather see? Right, Marvel minus, right? Absolute version of Marvel Universe, or a complete reboot, right? But and an editorial shakeup as well.
Mm,
Editorial shakeup to like a all in, like a all in reboot, like a more rebirthy than New 52 ish, more so. But like I would say, like not like completely. We're gonna start off with like Peter back in college, right? Or maybe Peter is a teacher at Empire State and he's
yeah.
married. Maybe we reset certain elements, right? Maybe we push the X-Men back to, we have a remixed version of the school and the first class team, but it's taking kind of what they're doing with Captain America, right? Like um the recontextualize when he came out, the recontextualize some of the timeline, right? Like condense it, but maybe keep elements that are good already that we don't have any complaints about. I guess New 52 then. Fuck. I guess that's
Wait,
what it is.
so
But
are you asking would we rather
Would we
editorial check?
rather would we rather have absolute Marvel, or would we
or
rather
come
have New 52 and editorial get sacked?
a whole
Um
a
Do
whole more
editorial
new
get
Marvel.
sacked in the absolute?
okay.
Well,
All right. I want the latter because I feel like if we get that at some point, you're going to get an absolute version of Marvel.
That is, you know what?
You're gonna
You
get
might
it.
be right. You
You're
might
gonna
be
get it.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
And
gonna get it.
if we're not going to get editorial getting sacked, then an absolute Marvel doesn't really mean
It
anything
doesn't. It
anyway.
doesn't mean anything. We'll we
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 just
will
saw it.
still. Yeah, exactly. We will be right back here a couple years from now, right?
Yeah.
So I think if you from Marvel to compete with DC like this, cool. All right, yo, you know what? Get rid of everybody. Do a new 52. And then again, this is how you get the leg up. Do the good work. Make sure you dedicate a good 2, 3 years, to telling some good stories as a whole, but individually with the
mm,
books. And then once you get that goodwill, once you get your little dick swinging a little bit, then you can look at DC. You're like, fuck y'all. Boom, our new
look,
universe.
peep it. This how you do it, and we'll call it the Marvel minus arc, right? Hold on, like peep what I'm talking about now. You'll
Mm-hmm.
read. Okay, if you recall, New 52, how they did it, they launched Justice League first, right? There
Mm-hmm.
is no Avenger book. Avengers is dead. There is no Avenger book for the next maybe 2, 3 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to we're gonna let these books play out and come out just like kind of like the absolute books are. We're not gonna have a crossover. Nobody's gonna meet each other for a while. We're gonna build up to that they meet Loki moment and become the Avengers, right? Or whatever version that whatever story we're gonna tell, Star Road, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have this new version of Tony, you know, getting his suit and getting injured or whatever. You have Cat waking up in 2001, right? You build up to this, but you treat it like absolute, but you condense it like a new 52, right? But the thing with the new 52 was they sped ran the whole crossovering and shared universe aspect. Keep
Mm-hmm.
it separated, right? Have Tony in San Francisco, right? Have only a few people in New York operating. Have, the X-Men kind of like have Charles recruiting the X-Men, the first, putting the team together. You know what I mean? Like really invest in rebooting this for the new era instead of just giving it a fresh painted coat. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, a fresh painted coat, a fresh coat of paint. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Hey, I'm with it. I'm with it.
because I think if you look at Josh, I don't know if anybody's reading Iron Man,
I
but
am.
that's the energy I need. And Cat, like those two books feel like they feel very different from like the other Marvel books currently. Like when I say different, I mean like they do have like a bounce about them. Like
Mm-hmm.
even weapons of Wolverine feels meaty. Like it feels important, right? Like I was pleasantly surprised. I liked Weapons of Wolverine more than I thought it was, and I was like, damn, it makes the story they're telling with the new Captain America in the arc with Cap make more sense. They give more context to that character now. Not to spoil anything,
Mm-hmm.
but definitely worth the read. Um, but I
No.
think, like you said, I think that's the only thing they can do to kind of steal the spotlight back. You
Yeah,
have to
it's
do the one thing that you never wanted to do.
yeah. And then again, once we yeah, just get everybody out from there who's there currently, and then you do something like this, man. Yo, do you know how dope it would be to absolute universes on this? I don't know, maybe fifth or sixth year. Maybe it's on its way out at this point. Who knows? But Marvel is really starting to get the ball rolling again, and they're able to do something that can, hold us over while the absolute universe kind of phases out, right? You know how dope that would be, and then on top of that, their main line is popping too. Like it's a no, it's so easy. It's a no brainer.
Like,
Like
think
it's
about this. With everything we know about Hulk now, right? With after
mhm,
coming out Immortal Hulk and now the stuff, the current stuff with JPK, right? Recontextualizing the origin of how he gets his powers would look like a banger,
yeah, it's
right? It'll still be the bomb, but now you know it comes from the devil down there, right? Like basically,
yeah,
like having that moment different, like some
yeah.
of the stuff from like Fear itself with Tony being involved. You start seeing some of like the shit, like that's what they
Listen,
need, bro.
that's
That's what they
all they
need.
need. It's just these new, fresh, remix. That's all they need, man. And like, we'll again, then we can really compete. Because what I don't know. I like the idea when both of these companies are thriving. I like it. I think it's great and it's good for comics when both of these companies are thriving, right? Yes, it and for a second there too, before we found out the end of the Ultimate Universe was like really coming, like there was a moment where it's like, yo, Marvel was firing off and DC was firing off, even though it was short, but it was good to see the energy on both sides, man. It was so good to see it. And I want to see it again. And it can happen again. I just think, Marvel just needs to get their head out their ass, really pay attention to what DC is doing, and then we'll see how it goes. But like, I don't know, man.
And
I
it
don't know,
starts
but
with Spider-Man dipping out the top 10.
yeah,
It
yeah.
starts with that. It starts with that.
But
If
like,
Spider-Man can dip out the top 10, that's when you start getting some, hey, what the hell's going on, y'all? We gotta talk
boom.
about this.
But
Um,
I know it's getting a little late, but like I do want to touch on some of the future of the absolute. You know what I'm saying? Like because in a couple months we have Absolute Catwoman, which I never thought we'd get a book, but we're getting a book. Actually, no, I think one of you guys was the one who theorized Absolute Catwoman. By the way,
I'm
it was
pretty
one
sure
of
I
we
y'all.
think
all
it
did.
was, yeah, I think we
I
kind of
did.
all agreed.
Okay.
I
Um,
think, yeah.
and then we have Absolute Green Arrow, which is from what the little bit that we find out every single week is like it's looking like it's going to be a banger.
I
And
think
like,
that's gonna seal the show.
oh,
I
I
think
think
it's
so.
gonna be seal the show to the point to where it becomes ongoing.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like those first few pages, bro, look intense.
Oh my god,
A
I need it.
slasher, bro.
I
Like,
I need it. I need
who
it.
do y'all think it is?
I need it, bro. I don't know, but I just
Is it a zombie? Is it a zombie, y'all? I don't know.
I don't know. And
Is
that
it the Spectre? I don't know.
like the ideas who
Oh,
like
is it Roy? Cause is it Connor? Oh man, there's so many questions. Cause
there's so
Diana look.
many.
Oh man, Mia's in the book. I'm there. Mia's getting some usage. Oh my god, yeah.
Man, yo, we got like I said, we got Absolute Catwoman, and then also too
Wait a minute.
like
Hold up.
what? What?
It's Merlin.
I feel like Merlin might be a little. I don't want to say predictable, but I wouldn't be mad at it.
Well, that's exactly why they do it, because you expect it. You expect them to do something else because it's the first guy you go to.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
Or it's just Zombie Ollie. I don't fucking know.
Probably it could be Zombie Ollie. But yeah, man, I'm really excited for both of those books. And I'm really excited for whatever the fuck this crossover is gonna be, because apparently this is gonna be unlike any crossover, and it's not gonna disrupt the books, which I enjoy. That's one thing I could say about the Absolute Universe. Is it's like the crossing over feels very natural, right? I just finished reading the Batman and Wonder Woman one. Like that one, I got a warm feeling in my heart when I read that one, man. That was so good. It's like, yo, Batman came over and helped Wonder Woman out, and then she went and returned the favor like a issue later, and like parts of that story is influencing, what's happening in Absolute Batman now. I'm like, this is comics, and like the stuff that happened with Absolute Evil, Ollie done got his head smashed in, but then now Hawkman is fighting Superman. Like that's, I need that. Like if we could get more of that, like give it to me. Give it to me. No pause. Like, and I don't know, like hopefully in the near future I can hop on Absolute Martian Manhunter, and maybe Flash is something I could hop into. But like I don't know, man. Like how do y'all feel about the future of the Absolute Universe? Like you think DC could still keep it going?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, like above all else, Batman is just gonna keep going forever.
Yeah.
we got
okay.
We got what was the number? What was the number? 300,000 copies a month on average.
God damn. Oh yeah. Oof. Oh, my gosh.
And he said there are already like 40 issues written in or something like that.
Oh
50.
my.
50. There you go. Yeah.
I mean, okay. So fine. Let's to close.
What do you think?
Go ahead.
My fault. I was gonna say let's do some quick predictions of books that we think are coming.
Okay.
Have we done that yet?
Well, I mean, we kind of did it, but like, I mean, we could do it again. Yeah.
Fuck it. I'll do it again.
Part of me wants to say Hawkman might get a little something. I want to say Hawkman.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Hawkman hasn't been prevalent in the streets for a while.
Since Robert Venditti's run, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I think
After that,
Aquaman's coming.
Aquaman, yes, Aquaman 100%.
Aquaman, yeah.
I need Ram V on that one.
Yes,
I need that. I need that. Please give me Ram V. Give me that.
Fuck, you could really say his Armada. What if? Well, no, you can't really do it because they already kind of introduced Poseidon and Wonder Woman. I'm about to say you could really just make his Aquaman, his Black Label book in the Absolute Universe, because that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Armada.
Andromeda.
Andromeda, yeah.
Andromeda, yeah.
That feels like an Absolute book.
Yeah, so I think those are likelies. Yeah, like nothing. I would like to see I would like to see another Black hero get an Absolute book. I don't know who, but I would like to see it.
Absolute Static.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Like we could.
We could. I feel like they're probably gonna they'll probably wait a while for that, but like I can see it. Because I think they want to get Static. I think they want to get Static going in the main line first.
Yeah.
If that happens, know.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, they could just do Absolute Black Lightning.
Yeah, that's an easy That's easy. That's you can't fuck that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Who's another? Oh, Blue Beetle.
Oh yeah,
Blue Beetle would be
Which one though? What are we doing?
All three of them.
Yeah, I guess that's what they would do technically. Yeah.
I can see Blue Beetle being like another like scary book. I don't know why. I don't get happy. Absolute Blue Beetle. That seems like it's gonna be scary. I don't know why. It just something in my head. It doesn't sit right with me, and I don't like that it sits right because you could do a lot of fucked up shit there.
You could do a lot of fucked up shit, but you also could do
what?
You just take the Kamen Rider homage and just make it even more literal. Because that's what he is. That's what he is.
Oh. Okay. All right.
Do that.
You can make Dan like the mentor character, Ted and Jaime be like the action guy, and then one guy sound like the smart one. I don't know. You can do a lot of different things with that.
Yeah,
somebody said
like
we got a good one here. Bloodwind.
Oh,
I would read the fuck out of a blood. Oh, I would read a Bloodwind absolute book.
They not finna fuck. I'm not even finna entertain it because they're gonna piss me off just thinking about it. I'm not even entertaining. I can't get a Bloodwind book in the mainline. Even how the fuck I'm gonna get it in the absolute universe? Nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
What about Absolute Captain Marvel and the Marvel family and Absolute Superboy?
I mean, he's better be in Superman.
Yeah.
He's that third guy in issue 20 that mystery dude on the cover for issue 20 of Superman. That's just Captain Marvel.
That's Captain Marvel.
Yeah. It really just comes down to like Rom v Aquaman.
Yeah,
it's really the one.
It's a no-brainer.
It's really
yo.
Yeah, that wouldn't. Yeah.
Absolute question.
Absolute question. Please. Before we do that, though, give Question a little something though. I need to see Question back in mainline for a little bit, but oh my gosh, I would read the fuck out of an Absolute Question. 100.
Absolute.
Which one though? Hold on. Which one though?
Well, Renee is already in Green Lantern.
Oh, she is. Oh, she
yes.
she is. That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Okay, so it would have to be Homeboy. Okay.
Well, I mean, it could be her. She was only in it for one issue.
Okay, that's true too.
Yeah, I mean, she was just there to be the person that Joe cheats on her wife with.
Oh, damn.
And then, yeah.
Damn, I forgot about that. Gosh. Oof.
Yeah.
Shit.
Joe it could be her.
Wait, Joe cheated?
Yeah, Joe cheated.
Catch up.
You see what gets him going? You see what gets him going?
Hey, man, whatever gets people on this fucking book, I'll take it.
I found a way to make the Wonder Woman stuff with like the clay. I found a way to merge the fan bases when it comes to Diana's origin earlier today.
Yes, like I saw your tweet.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Oh, somebody said Absolute Mad. Oh, Absolute Mad Dog. That's. Absolute Wild Dog. That's Wild Dog. Yeah, I know what you meant. I couldn't. Okay, all right. I'm not fucked up over that one. Absolute Gravedigger. 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 Hold on. Why is that?
Yeah, who is
Gravedigger? Oh shit, that's a. Oh my goodness. Oh. This is I think it's a Black Lightning or Batman. I think it's a Black Lightning hero. Hold on. Gravedigger. Okay. All right. Yeah, some of these they could just be reintroduced in the in like the solo books, but nah, man. Like I don't know what else to expect after this one. I feel like, maybe San Diego Comic-Con will get some more stuff, but like, I do like how they're building this out. They're not just hitting us, left and right with books. Like we had to start out. We started off with the three, then we had the other three that were sprinkled in like a year or so later. So
Yeah.
I think this is good, man. Like I'm I don't know. I'm excited for the future of the Absolute Universe, man. I'm excited.
What is it? What
Ooh.
was his name? I got him on like the tip of my tongue. I just had him. Fucking Absolute Doctor Fate.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mm. Not fucked
oh,
up about that.
oh,
I mean, at this point, you give me
Yeah.
absolute Zatanna, and I'd be cool with that too.
I mean, I like what they're doing with her in Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
And
her introduction was dope.
they
Like
queer baited the
really
shit
dope.
out y'all too.
Hey man. Nah, the absolute Zatanna, I could fuck with that.
That'd be a good look.
Oh man. But nah, man, I think I don't know. I think this is a good point to close out, man. I think we touched on, most of all the things we need to touch on, but it's definitely we'll be back to discuss. Oh wait, oh shit, fuck. Oh, Tev is cooking. Hold on, man.
Yeah,
Tev.
no, he's
Oh,
spitting right now. Hold on. Yeah.
Constantine.
oh,
Oh shit.
oh shit. Oh
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
Constantine already a piece of shit, but like absolute Constantine.
Ooh, or Sandman.
Mm.
Yeah.
Or Sandman. And you could put both Wesley Dobbs and the Endless together.
Well, I mean, Wesley
Okay.
died.
I know, but like as in like just the origin of it, like
Oh yeah, no,
merge
yeah,
both of their
that's
origins together, which is fucked
Okay.
up. I mean, had my man's a zombie.
Oh shit. All right. All right. All right. All right. I
I wouldn't
like that.
mind. Wouldn't mind like an absolute amazing man. Get some show some Justice Society the characters some love.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. No. No.
That's not happening though, but still.
These are some good ideas, man. But nah, man, we appreciate all you guys who came through, man. Kicked it with us in the chat. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much, man. We enjoyed chatting absolute with you guys. So I mean I'll tell you right now we gonna be here for absolute Green Arrow like day one, like
oh yeah.
that yeah the day that comes out we streaming like I need that SEO. And also, I have a persona to keep up with, absolute Green Arrow, man. Come on, man. But yeah, man, I will be back for that. But again, let us know your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts. We will be back at some point this week because next Sunday, it's Easter. I'm gonna be with the family. So we're gonna hit y'all with two. We hit y'all with one today, and we hit y'all with one probably Wednesday or Thursday, just so we can make sure you guys ain't starving, while we're gone. So
Do it Wednesday if possible, because Thursday I work at night.
okay, yeah, we'll probably
there's a lot of stuff coming out on Wednesday too.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
Is
stuff.
it a heavy
Daredevil.
week?
it might be a heavy week, and also too like there's some like news topics too, like we can like go over.
It's a lot of
Yeah,
news. It's a lot of news. It's a lot of heat happening. It's a lot of big things happening.
A lot of big. So but we wanted to make sure we focus primarily on absolute this week. And then but next week is going to be business as usual. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for us. And also down below, I have I updated everybody's social media, everybody. So we have the official Twitter account on the bottom, so CB Kickback Show. AJ's Twitter is down below. Steph's Instagram is down below. Q his Twitter's down below. And so please go check us out. I don't have my own personal Twitter account. Maybe I will one day. I don't know. I just have a burner, which I'm not giving out. But be on the lookout. Please go check out those channels. Go follow them. And also no Indies Love. We you know what we do need to do a better job of dealing with the indies.
So to
Well,
answer
I mean,
that,
yeah. I mean, this was an absolute stream, so they wanted to come up. But yeah, I mean, like
yes.
and
we absolutely do.
And to be honest, we're still working out the kinks of our format. to be honest.
Yes.
Right? Or we're
Mm-hmm.
still trying to figure out how we want to do certain things. Like we know the chopping it up and talking and hanging out part. That's obvious. We're gonna do that regardless. But like having a little more structure and
Yeah.
you know, being like your typical podcast, I guess.
Yeah. So don't worry. We'll, I feel like because this isn't the first time we've been asked about indies. So definitely we'll in the future we'll do a better job of including the indies as well. Um, and also we just asked, are we on Discord? You should.
We'll work on
No.
that.
You're
Well, yeah, I
not,
mean,
but
we'll
probably
eventually
make
when
one.
we blow up, we'll probably have a kickback Discord.
Yes. Yes. So 100%.
Yeah.
So we're working out the kinks, guys. Don't worry. Like we'll have this machine well oiled. No pause. All right. Um. Oh shit. Oh damn. Hold on. Y'all need to talk about this $50 billion creators fund for blacks that other creators don't want to talk about. Oh, I did not know about this. I did not know about this. Okay.
Oh yeah.
We'll
And we
for
love
sure
the
we'll look
indies.
into
I'm
that.
an indie writer, so
Yeah. There
don't
you
never
go.
forget that part.
And
So
I have a lot of I have some indie well not some I have a good stack of indies books that I need to get to as well.
Yeah, like
So
assorted crisis events, right? You're gonna read that?
yes, I do need to read that. I do need to read that
Thank you.
I
100%.
probably should read too.
That
Uh,
first trade just came out like last week,
uh,
or something like that.
so Tev said, "Thank you for the stream. This was fun, man. Thank you guys for coming through, man. Hey, man, this ain't shit without y'all. This ain't shit without y'all, man. So thank you all you guys for coming through. Whether you were here for an hour, a couple minutes, I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate all you guys. So we will be back on Wednesday for sure. So we could just like kick it with you guys and just talk about regular news stuff. But yeah, we gotta go because we got shit we gotta go handle. But thank you guys once again. Um for checking us out. It's a comic book kickback. Steph, Clinton, say peace to the people real quick.
uh appreciate y'all coming out again. Nothing crazy. We are back working. I just put a new piece I got done. We showed like the preview of it last week. I don't know if we showed the finished product of it, but I did like a little ladies' night um commission of my OCs of some of the female characters in my universe. Um, I just got in contact with my artist, with Martin, so we're talking about getting started. Him getting back started, just doing some character work. There's a few characters that have been on my mind I want to see visualized before we get back into like drawing issue 3. My colorist has already started. I already talked to him to start coloring issue 2, so hopefully I will have issue 2 ending while issue 3 is starting production. Um, yeah, I'm back at work now. The workshop's back open.
Oh, I've
That's
heard it. Oh
about
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah. This is what you showed, right?
Y'all gonna show some love to that, man. Liking and show
Yeah.
up, man.
All right. So yeah, go ahead. Yeah. So definitely go ahead and follow Quentin. This is what I have for your Twitter is the same as your YouTube, right? I mean, just the same as your IG, right?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
sort of. Just yeah, it is. My IG is in. I think you should put QQ22, or you'll find me.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain
Perfect.
it because like my name is inside my Twitter handle, but like my Twitter handle is long as hell.
Okay. Okay. All right. Steph, go ahead. Say bye to the peoples, man.
I mean, it's a pleasure as usual to be here. Love talking with obviously the fellas and all of you in the chat. Um, and we'll see you on Wednesday,
See you guys
I
on
guess.
Wednesday. Thank
Yeah,
you,
I mean
y'all.
that's when Daredevil comes out. So
Oh shit.
we've been talking too much about that for to not bring it up on Wednesday.
Oh shit, that's right. Oh, you know what? Okay, all right, cool. So and Mr. Alk will definitely, yeah, I'm definitely gonna do my research on the black creatives thing because I had no idea. So yeah, definitely we'll definitely touch on that at some point. But y'all, it's a comic book kickback, and we are out.
Later.
Later.